Hello and welcome to the second part of Chapter 2, the data lake versus the data warehouse. And I can already see you asking, what are they? This is a very fancy picture, of course, generated by AI, which kind of illustrates the difference. On the left side, we have the data lake, which is a place that we store everything, all the data that we can imagine. We can have images there, it gathers tables. It could literally be BigQuery that is part of it. We can have CSV files, Excel files. It can be JSON files, you name them. It's literally a data dump. You could call it a data dump. A data warehouse is where all of this data gets structured into tables with column names that we've agreed on, formatting that we've agreed on. For example, a URL that's not going to be considered a path, but only a URL if it is full from HTTPS, etc. Let's show that instead of me just rambling about this. Here you have the verses, you could call this. What is now the difference between that data lake and that data warehouse? Like I said, raw storage is the definition of a data lake, and you don't analyze that data, right? You could, to some degree, say that all of the files that you have on your computer is one big data lake. You still need to put it all together. You still need to clean it. You still need to visualize it before you can actually do something with it, right? A data warehouse, on the other side, is where data is just ready to be consumed and to be analyzed. That's what you really want with it. Therefore, the purpose is also different. Like what I was just mentioning, the purpose of that data being there and being ready for you to consume means that it is ready to be analyzed. You can use it as a business user. Data in a data lake is just there. It's just there. It just needs to be processed. Like something needs to be done with it. So a good first step very often is to just start gathering the data. Just get it into your data lake setup. And then later you can engineer this data in a way that it becomes part of your data warehouse. But then at least you're already storing the raw data and you can go back in time. Let me move myself out of the way. This also means that we can store anything. Like I said, JSON files, CSV files, hell, it can be tables from a data warehouse set from a BigQuery, which then acts as part of the data lake before it actually goes into the data warehouse setup. And the data remains in its raw form until it's needed. And again, in a data warehouse, it's all nicely organized and structured and used for analytics purposes. That means that it is already optimized and cleaned and not duplicated, etc. And then the last part of this is data integrity. And data integrity refers to the data itself, whereas the structure refers to the type of the data, right? An Excel file, a CSV file, JSON file, image file, or literally a table inside of a database. It can also be like a MySQL database, it can be an Oracle database, it can be any type of database that you want to extract data from. So those are types. Data integrity is all about the data itself. You can imagine that different sources have different rules they made up because a person designed Search Console to have a path in the column for the URL and for the page. Whereas in Google Analytics, it might be a URL. And this URL can be either in another source, also a full URL, but then without the HTTPS, right? It only has www. You want to make sure that when it's in a data warehouse, when somebody looks at a URL, it's always the same. It's like a business choice that you make in the data team very often, or as the person responsible for managing or setting up the data warehouse. You will be the data engineer of the marketing team in that case, because that's the person responsible for figuring out how to engineer all this together. And with that, I'd like to conclude the lesson about the difference between a data lake and a data warehouse. Thank you for watching.